I'm a 26-year-old woman, and I've been financially independent since I was 19. That independence didn't come easy. My family made sure of that. Growing up, my parents were the kind of people who believed that a good daughter did as she was told, no questions asked. My life was a constant tug of war between their need for control and my desire for freedom. My parents loved rules. Everything had to go through them, who I could be friends with, what I could wear, and even what extracurriculars I joined. They weren't abusive, just very controlling. To them, independence was a threat. If you didn't rely on them for everything, it meant you didn't respect them. That's the environment I grew up in, and it made me determined to carve out a life for myself on my terms. When I graduated high school, they were thrilled that I got into a local college. They insisted I stay at home to save money and focus on my studies. I went along with it for a year, but then I decided to move out. I got a part-time job at a coffee shop and found a roommate. My parents were furious. They saw my decision as a slap in the face. They called it wasting money and making irresponsible choices. I saw it as freedom. Living on my own was tough. I juggled school, 2 part-time jobs, and endless late-night study sessions, but it was worth it. By the time I graduated with a degree in computer science, I had lined up a full-time job in tech. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid well enough for me to finally stop working multiple jobs. My parents weren't impressed. They wanted me to ask for their advice on everything: where to work, what to spend money on, and even what to do with my weekends. I didn't. Oh, the first major blow-up came when I bought a car without telling them. It was a used sedan, nothing fancy, but to my parents, it was like I'd committed a crime. They said I should have asked them first, even though I was paying for it entirely with my own money. The argument ended with them calling me ungrateful and too independent for my own good. Fast forward a couple of years, and I managed to save enough to buy a house. It wasn't a mansion, just a small 2-bedroom place in a quiet neighborhood, but it was mine. I didn't tell my parents until after the deal closed. I thought they'd be happy for me, but I was wrong. They called me up, demanding to know why I hadn't consulted them. My mom accused me of disrespecting their guidance, and my dad said I was acting like I didn't need a family. That's when they decided to cut me off. By cut me off, I mean they stopped speaking to me entirely. They canceled the family phone plan I'd been on and removed me from their health insurance. They stopped inviting me to family gatherings and, from what I heard through mutual acquaintances, started telling everyone I was selfish and thought I was better than them. At first, it hurt. I won't lie, being iced out by your own family stings, even when you know you did nothing wrong. But I leaned into my independence. I threw myself into work, got a promotion, and treated myself to a new car. I started decorating my house, learning to garden, and hosting game nights with friends. My life was good, but my family saw it differently. They followed me on social media and apparently couldn't handle seeing me happy. My mom told an aunt that my posts were flaunting my success and rubbing it in their faces. My younger sibling, who still lived at home, started echoing my parents' complaints, calling me out in group chats for being too proud to admit I needed family. I didn't engage. I wasn't going to argue or beg them to let me back into their lives. If they wanted to talk, they knew where to find me, but they weren't interested in talking. They wanted me to apologize, to admit I'd been wrong, to strike out on my own, and to promise to listen to their advice moving forward. That wasn't going to happen. Then, the power dynamic shifted. A few months after the fallout, I heard through a friend that my dad had lost his job, and my mom's small business was struggling. My sibling had dropped out of college and moved back home. Suddenly, the family that had cut me off for being too independent was facing serious financial trouble. They didn't reach out to me directly, but I started noticing little things, likes on my Instagram posts, comments